Good morning and welcome to the Reckoning Brothers Afternoon Tea Edition podcast. Josh, how are you doing?
Doing good, Scott. How are you?
Oh, I'm
Are you
doing wonderful.
drinking tea today?
I'm
Because
drinking tea. It's
the
I
last
don't know
time
if
it was
you've
water, so I
it
wanted
was
to
water,
make
but I don't know
sure.
if you've heard me talk about this brand before, but Barry's Irish Breakfast Tea. They're out of Cork County, Ireland. And then the yogis, I mean, it's going to come to blows. We're going to be the first people since the British Empire to fight over
Right
tea.
over tea?
Yeah. This hasn't happened since 1775. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna bring that back. Speaking of fighting, Josh,
Yeah.
you know what? There's a lot of fighting. Is Twitter/X.
Yes.
A lot of fighting there. I wanted to talk about today what we like and what we dislike about Twitter/X. It's so weird calling it X. That's another thing I don't like.
It
The
is
name
strange.
switch.
Yeah. It, you know, if you say Twitter to someone, you know what they're talking about. Or yeah.
Exactly.
If you say X to someone, there may or may not be a chance that they understand what you're talking about.
It's just a letter.
Yeah.
It's a letter used a lot.
My thought, I kind of wondered if he was, when he changed that, if he was doing a conglomerate with SpaceX and X for Twitter. So it might have
Maybe there's a
something.
theme. It's a
Yeah,
theme kind of thing, trying to put it all under some kind of
can't
stylistic
say
umbrella.
Tesla X. Uh,
Yeah,
Maybe he's going to come out with an X model.
dude probably just likes that letter. It is a pretty cool letter. Personally, I prefer Z. I think Z is a cooler letter than X, but that's just me.
I don't have preferences on coolness for letters.
Well,
So
get with it. Get with it.
okay.
All right. Do you want to start with some positives or negatives, or do you
No,
want
yeah.
me to start, or you
Let
want me
me
to start?
dive into some negatives because that's
Go for it.
there's going to be more negatives than positives. But my first one is the whole concept of 140 characters. That
Hmm.
bothers me so much. I don't
Yeah.
type a lot. I don't post on X at all, except with our account. Maybe I'll do it once in a while
Well,
with our joint account with the
yeah.
Reckoning Bros. But when somebody's writing something, they have to do it within a thread. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen it. So if you want to do something long, it's 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5. Put at the
Yeah,
end of it. It
and
makes
you
it
got
more
to like
annoying and
click
frustrating.
through, and yeah, it's I don't know. That
I would
bothers me.
also add, I think the 140 character limit adds to the dunking contest that kind of is Twitter posts where it's just people. So much of it is people trying to dunk on another person.
Yeah,
Right. That's one of my negatives I was going to get into. I just don't like it. I think it breeds that negativity and the kind of idea sports mentality that I don't think pushes the ball forward at all with these conversations that I think are important to have. I think it's more just it's a sycophant on sycophant dunking contest or grand slam. What are they in the baseball when you hit the ball and it goes over the thing?
a home
Home run
run.
derby, home
Okay,
run derby kind of contest.
all right.
And I don't like it. I think it's regressive and childish. School
Okay.
cafeteria shit.
In defense of that, it's not Quora.
Uh, on what is just in case someone doesn't know what Quora is. I of course know, but maybe you want to explain it to
Do
somebody
you?
that
Okay.
doesn't know what that is.
No, I mean Quora is where you ask a question, and you usually get a very intellectual response, or it's an enlightened website where it's very detailed, very uh, specific, and yeah, it's one of those things.
Okay, yeah, you're
I
right.
was
That's
gonna say,
not what X is for. It's not what it's for. It's kind of for a more idea sporty thing, kind of a more jab, duck and
yeah,
jab kind of
yeah,
approach.
yeah. And on that, moving into my next bullet point, um, because I feel it's relevant to what you're saying, is it's killing the English language.
I would say it's probably part of it, part of what's killing the English language. You got emojis and other stuff like
Yeah,
that, and TikTok, and yeah, okay,
but
I can
it's the
see that.
quick punches like that where you have to do it within a certain amount of characters. That
So it's almost like Orwellian newspeak that we're putting on ourselves.
hmm.
It's like, why say all these words when I could say this word and you know
See
what I mean?
Kevin from The Office. Do you know what I'm?
I don't know that reference. I know who
Oh,
he is. I know The Office, but I don't know
in one
specifically the.
episode, he decides he's not going to use like specific words. So he says, "Why me use big word when little word
Hmm.
does trick?"
Yes, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's do you have another negative?
I got some.
Okay.
Premium and monetization, the subscriberness. That's not the right word.
Subscribernicity.
Sure. Yeah, I don't care for that. A lot of them have moved since Musk took over. A lot of them have moved to a subscriber based thing, where yeah, Hannity or Tucker or somebody will say something, and you get the first sentence, and then it's kind of grayed out, and you got to click subscribe in order to get the rest of it. And
Mm,
I
I've
don't
seen
like
that
that.
feature. I don't like it either. I don't like
Yeah,
it. I get it that you want to monetize a site like that with that much
but
traffic.
yeah, you have
It's a
to.
kind of a gold mine
Yeah.
if you do it right, but that doesn't mean I like it.
Going back to your quick jabs, anonymity.
Oh yeah,
Don't
that's
care for
that
that.
that's
There's a
that's
lot
a
of hatred,
huge
a lot of anger. Um, that's
that's a
that's
huge
something.
thing, and it's a big debate. I think I heard Tristan Harris or one of those guys debating about it, and anonymity. Yeah, of course you want to be able to be anonymous on the internet, but maybe not every website. Maybe X should be one that says, "Hey, you got to verify who you are," because there's
Yeah.
anonymity. Of course, there's no consequences to your actions, and you can just run your mouth. And that's probably part of the reason why you get so many political extremists on X too, because
Yes.
you can just run your mouth consequence free. So you get the ultra
Misogyny.
right and
You
the
get
ultra left,
hatred, and yeah,
yeah,
racism.
yelling at each
Yeah.
other. A lot of gross people saying gross things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bigger or larger internet problem, but yeah, man, it shows itself on X for sure.
Yes, it does. My last negative is original posts, and you want to when you see an original post, you want to look at the comments. You want to see what other people are thinking about this particular post. Are they like-minded to me, or are they completely opposite? And a lot of people say, I came here just to say this, and you're like, okay, well, I don't gotta say it because somebody else already said it, and somebody else is already thinking the same thing I am. They're
Mm,
crazy, or they're great, or whatever.
mm.
The comment section that's involved in Twitter is attention seeking, post grabbing, clickbait bullshit, and it is 90% irrelevant to the original post. You got to scroll to find somebody that's actually talking about the original post, and that bothers the hell out of me.
Agreed. However, in my limited experience with X, I haven't been on this as long as you. Depending on the poster, depending on who posts, I see some of them are like just how you said. In others, for whatever reason, maybe they've cultivated the followers to where they are on topic. So there are those people I've seen
There are
post it where
some,
that's
yeah,
there. But yeah, I think it's probably just a bigger account you get, the more followers you get, the more chance you have of that nonsense.
yeah, and people are just throwing up videos to get clicks.
Yeah, and it's totally frustrating. And the Reckoning Bros has not done that, and we will not do that.
We
But
will not.
others have. Yeah, Josh wanted me to, but I said, Josh, no, we're not doing this. We're going to stay ethical. Can I
All right.
add a few more negatives here
Yes,
before we
because
move
I'm
on
ready to
to the
go
positive?
positive. So it's your turn.
Okay, all right. It is one of the better representations of the silo. The what do you call it? Dude, my brain is fucking failing me today. Echo chamber,
Okay.
causing positive feedback loops, which leads to crazy. So you see, like, just crazy conspiracy theories and stuff like that are getting out of control, because people stay in their silos and they don't venture out. Maybe
Yeah.
that's just who we're following, because when we set up the Reckoning Bros, well, we just started freaking following like everybody, right? Just like, and some of these people are freaking crazy. I've had to stop following some of them just
Yeah.
because they are so out there.
But there was a lot that turned out well, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, and this is just these are negatives that they may only be like 10% of posters or something like that, but they're just so fucking annoying that they make my experience less good than they would be otherwise. I'm
Yeah.
not even saying that you should go you this freedom of speech. This is a price you pay. This is a tax. Whenever you have freedom of speech, you spend you have to pay like the listening to the ultra woke, listening to freaking white nationalists, all these fucking scumbags. It's a
Yeah.
tax you have to pay for freedom of speech. So just
Yeah.
because I'm complaining about it doesn't mean that it should go away. It just sucks, and there may be nothing we can do about it.
Well, you need to keep an open mind, Scott.
I do need to keep an open mind. Yeah, but to some of these
A reference
people,
to last night. Oh,
oh yeah, yeah. But to some of these people, man, they're not worth opening your mind for.
yeah.
The older you get, the better you can smell the bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and leading into that, there's just this wave of Trump and Elon are gods amongst the right wing people with their posts that is getting extremely frustrating. This is very of this time, but the honeymoon should kind of be over by now. Let's be more critical, people. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
I want to see more reasonable content on politics. And even these people that are big political names still feel like if I'm being charitable, I'll call them cheerleaders. If I'm not feeling charitable, I'll call them sycophants. That's what a lot of these people look like. So I want that to stop. And I think that would be a huge, huge uh plus. And that's about it, because the other negatives I wanted to link to some of the positives, because there's like these double-edged sword kind of things. But do you have
Yeah.
some positives you want to bring up?
Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, it's the memes.
There are some good fucking memes. You're
There's
right.
some
You're
great
right.
memes.
Oh my
I
god.
do enjoy the memes, and I've sent a few of them to you. I'm like, Scott's got to see this one.
Oh
Copy
yeah, yeah.
me. Yeah,
That's
and
probably the number one positive, is the dankest of all memes now
yeah,
come from X.
agreed.
I want to say it used to be Facebook maybe 10, 15 years ago,
Yeah,
but now it's definitely
yeah.
X.
Um, it's a global town hall. I do find that appealing, where anyone can comment about any subject, and if they're loud enough, they can be recognized.
And
Or
this is a positive and negative. This is
yeah,
both. You can't
yeah,
have one without the other. You pay that tax. So that's great. Freedom of speech, it's great. Understand you're paying that tax, and that's just part of it. So you don't get upset. We can complain about it, but yeah, the crazies, the crazy political extremists are part of the greatness of what you just mentioned.
yeah.
It's just as a society, hopefully, and as children grow up in this environment more and more, hopefully they'll be able to sort through the bullshit and the wheat and the chaff, and the extremists won't be as big of a deal, and that the town hall will look better in a few years. It'll look more like
I
a
could see
reasonable
that.
town hall. I'm cautiously optimistic.
That being a global town hall, that's something that I can find real time things that people are commenting on.
Hmm.
And did you see that play that the Reds just made right now? Real time,
Yeah,
right then. That quirky line that JD Vance said in the debate, real time.
yeah,
People are actually talking about it right now.
yeah.
You
Because
don't
you
have
have
to
people even
wait.
live streaming it on X
Yeah,
too,
you
right? So
don't have to
you're
wait 3 days or one day for the New York Times to come out with an article and comment maybe or maybe not on what he said at that particular moment in time. But on X, it's there, and somebody's saying that was great or that was horrible. I can't believe he did that. You know that.
dude. I agree. I put on my list, one of the positive is up to the minute coverage,
Up
and
to
one
the
of the
second.
negatives being
Yeah,
up to the minute coverage.
yeah,
Because you get up to the minute coverage, it means that people are also going to have knee jerk opinions on things. And
sure,
that leads to
sure.
inaccuracies and things being wrong. So, this is another thing where we just need to be more aware as people of the bullshit. And it's going to narrow down the negative side of this, I
Yeah,
think, over time as kids grow up and blah, 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 blah.
yeah. And leading back into that, there's I'm a binger. I love binging TV. You and I have talked about
And
this.
alcohol, yes. Yep.
Why did this person do this? And it is there, and people are talking about it, and there are subjects galore
Oh yeah,
within specific communities, and I just I'm
the
astounded
last
at the
episode of
amount
Game
of,
of Thrones.
or not even that, like the red wedding, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was actually probably bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was another kind of back when Facebook was bigger kind of thing. But yeah, Facebook, Twitter, all
yeah,
those people. Yeah, just the comments were freaking crazy.
because everybody was shocked. Yeah, but if I go back later and binge it, I can still go back and look at those comments and like,
Yeah,
I can't believe this happened, and yeah.
yeah, that
And
is pretty fun. And
it,
it's
it's like some of the reality stuff that my wife and I watch. It's Alone, where they're
mhm.
out camping. We've talked about
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I've seen that show. It's great.
Uh, what happened to so and so? And you see, something after that, and their life and what has happened to them. So
And then there'll be someone survival expert here, and then you'll hope that they're not completely bullshitting. They probably are, and they'll
yeah,
put on here's what he's actually doing and why he's like storing
yeah,
this food there.
yeah,
Blah 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 blah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that shit's cool. That's a positive
I got
post
two more.
show. Please,
So one is directly for us. So we can promote our work. This is
hundred
fun. This
percent.
is enjoyable, but this is still work.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and
and getting it
we're
out there
happy not
is
having an audience for now, but we'd like to change that.
at
That's
some
so
point. So
we're
yeah,
going to work towards getting better and doing that. And you're right, man. This is a work. It's a great outlet. We just figured out how to do these clips from Riverside and put them in there, and it's
yeah,
real nice and neat and concise.
and
It's really cool.
they look great too. I was surprised. I accidentally came across them, so
Yeah,
it was nice. So
yeah, yeah. So that's a huge plus. And even on top of that, just promoting, cultivating audience and communication with an audience.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
there's a lot of people that's independent creators that are just big into communicating with their audience all the time, every day, and
and that leads
this gives
me
them a great
into a segue of our next one:
go.
real time access to public figures.
Mm, mm.
That is something that is the biggest thing on there. That there is a, a lot of them where you like, that's not really the person. He doesn't have a blue check mark. He's not certified. That's the fake or the parody of, or somebody thinking they can be funny and respond as said person. But you do have that access to a real person. They may
Yeah,
choose to ignore you, but you can tell someone you don't like them straight to their face.
yeah, yeah. And it's a record there for everybody to see, whether they see it or not. Who
Yeah,
knows? But you can do that, and you have it's posted there under their tweet or their fucking X thingy. The comments there to stay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That is cool. It's a great democratizer when it comes to just bitching to those in power or public figures.
For sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You basically
So
went. Oh no, you said you had another one. Sorry, please go
no,
ahead.
that's it. That's it. I was going to go into a different sidebar of this.
So I basically had the same exact positives that you did,
Good. Okay.
except community notes. That was one I wanted to
That's
mention. That feature
that's a
seems
good one. Yeah.
legit. That seems legit. Seems like people universally like it too, unless you're some ridiculous extremist who's not worth paying attention to. But
And when
most
we
people like it.
we're talking about community nets, we're talking about fact checking, right?
Yeah, which that's essentially what it is. It's democratized fact checking. We've had fact checking organizations. They were popular starting in like 2016 with Snopes and stuff like that.
Mm.
They've pretty much universally failed us. They've all had narratives that don't
Biases.
they have a narrative above being honest and truthful. They think, oh, I'm the greater good. As soon as an organization like that does anything for the greater good, you're gone. You're I don't take you seriously. You're not an organization worth paying attention to. It's your job, like a news gathering organization, to say the facts as best you can. That doesn't mean that you can't have some kind of slant or whatever. But especially if you're saying you're Snopes, you're a fact checking organization. That's your whole thing. You have no right to be political at all. If you do, right or left, go fuck yourself. You're gone. Community notes is everybody gets to kind of pile in and you kind of get a sense of real because everybody kind of throws it in there. You can kind of, you can, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone can comment on a community note, right? Or add to it.
I honestly don't know. I
Okay,
thought
check into that.
Community Notes was employees of Twitter.
Ah, that's good. I've seen them pop up, and I've seen them like make perfect sense. Like when I look at it,
It might
to where
be
I'm like, oh,
AI.
that makes perfect sense. But I don't know. I don't know what causes them. And that's there's another positive. I like Grok being right there. So
I know, right?
if I think someone's bullshitting, I can just type it in and be like, does this seem like bullshit? And it goes through a pretty good. It gives you a pretty good idea of whether or not they're bullshitting.
Have you seen they have a separate app now for that?
I haven't seen it, but it doesn't surprise me.
There's a yeah, they just came out with it like a week ago, and you can
Nice.
download the separate app for that. Just FYI.
You know I use Claude.
Yeah,
You know I'm Anthropic till the day I die.
I've been my work provides Microsoft Copilot as an enterprise licensed user, um, but and I'm kind of fighting to get the Chat GPT enterprise license, but those have been my go tos. I really haven't used Grok much, but I have used Claude. Claude was really detailed. I was surprised at that. But one thing, and we're getting off topic, but I felt like I am using an AI assistant, LLM, more as a Google search than Google.
Yes, I am doing the same thing, and I'm also using it nearly every day and for a lot of things, including my job.
Yeah,
So it's crazy how quickly it's just kind of
shifted.
into my
Yeah,
life for all of those reasons. But yeah, Google, unless I need to, well, because Claude doesn't have access to the internet and their cutoff is like October 24. So if you need anything after that,
relevant,
up to the
real
minute,
time.
you can't
Yeah,
use it. But for just basic facts, I go to it more than I do Google for sure, for sure.
Copilot, I believe, has access to the internet. The last time I looked at it, ChatGPT, I don't know when the cutoff is. It's an interesting one, but so last one for you. What is your go to social? I am one of those that I've had Facebook for so long that as soon as my phone turns on in the morning, my thumb automatically goes to it, and I
Mm,
can't stop it. And it may be it's somebody's birthday or I don't know.
for whatever. It's just been
It
force of habit for you for years, so
yeah.
you can't
Actually,
stop.
I got to the point where I moved it to the second page so I don't see it.
The little things help, man. They all add
Yeah.
up. I no longer have Facebook after the George Floyd 2020 stuff, when basically all my friends and family decided they knew what they were talking about in politics, and none of them did, right or left. This is
Yeah.
not a right or left thing. This is I think I know what I'm talking about, and I want to yell on Facebook. I couldn't do it anymore. I'm like, done. So I got rid of it. And I haven't used any social media except for Discord with my friends until the Reckoning Bros X account made a couple months ago. So that's basically the only time I'm on it
Okay.
is through us. But I mean, like everything I've liked it more than I thought I would. I like it more than I thought I would. So
Okay.
that's probably my thesis of everything we talked about with X.
Being habitual, X is becoming more habitual for me. Um, I have Truth Social, but I've never used it.
Mm.
I
You've never
mean,
truthed.
I've been on there once,
Uh,
maybe, and that was before Trump got back on X. So
mm.
that tells you anything. Instagram is for children.
Okay, agreed.
TikTok is for my wife.
Okay, and children.
Yeah. The other thing was I was just going to mention defunct socials.
The what
MySpace,
socials?
defunct.
Defunct.
Yeah, MySpace, Blogspot, anything.
Oh, and Friendster, those kind of things.
Friendster,
That
I
just
forgot about that one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I miss MySpace. That was probably the be all end all of social
yeah.
media.
That was
That
that's
I
where the
know
dank
one of
memes
the
started.
speaking of funny fucking tweets. This was years ago, but somebody was talking on Twitter about how they missed the MySpace top 8 friends. And he had a text string with his friends where he would every week put them in order of their top 8 so everybody knew where they stood because he hated how they got rid of that. It's like, oh no, my friends need to know exactly where they stand. That was such a ridiculous feature, but remember that?
Yeah,
MySpace had your top 8
I
friends
don't
where you
remember that.
ranked your friends. Dude, that was on MySpace on the front page. So insane. Yeah,
I
God, I
think that
miss it.
that's where a lot of us learned how to do some computer coding and stuff too, because you had to have
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
you had a
HTML.
lot of freedom.
Yeah, and if you wanted to alter your music, you had to do certain things, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
so so yeah, that's it. My last and my most favorite social media ever was Wolfenstein Enemy Territory.
Yes. That was technically a video game, but
It
that
was
was
social though.
it was social, and that was also the early. So this was about the time when Xbox Live first came out.
Yes.
So you were just getting to be able to play games online with real time voice. We used TeamSpeak at the time, but it's the
Yep.
same thing. And that was groundbreaking. Being able to just play video games, a difficult video game like that with your friends, I think was pretty great because there was actually positives to it, unlike a lot of just being online, just having to work as a team. And God, man, that game was hardcore. I mean, it's not like Counter
Yeah.
Strike is now, but it's pretty damn close for the time. But God, yeah, agreed, 100%. Best social media ever, Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, circa 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. That's all I
All right,
got,
man.
Scott. I have my positives, have my negatives. You got anything else?
Nope, just what I said before. I was pleasantly happy with X overall. Still adding everything there. I would put it at a slight net negative as far as its existence, but that's not. I don't blame the X platform for that. I blame humans. That's where
Yeah,
I'd leave it.
yeah, that makes sense. Nothing you can do about that.